Hi everyone, Darren Hunter here from Win Your Worth podcast with Dennis Youssef. And Dennis, we've had a really good start. If you haven't listened to our first couple of episodes on this series, which is all about building your worth, of course, you will never ever earn what you're worth. You only earn what you believe that you're worth. This podcast is all about building your worth to a whole new fee level. And Dennis, the first couple of sessions, and if you haven't listened to the episodes, everyone, go back and listen to them. They're short and they're very useful in helping you with the two biggest fee objections you're likely to ever get, which is if you can match your management fee with the other agent down the road, but the other agent is cheaper. But Dennis, there's a but for you. But Dennis, what happens? So, for example, with a cup of coffee script that we gave in episode 1, where people go, but Mr. Smith, the difference between us and our competitors is, if in this case, if it was a 1% difference, well, it's just a cup of coffee. But sometimes people get out their calculator and go, well, okay, so a cup of coffee is $6, and those over a year, well, that's $312. That's a lot. Why can't you discount that? Or it's just a cup of coffee then. Why have you got a big deal with it then? You know, why can't you drop the cup of coffee? So every now and then you're going to get that. So this is what I'm going to explore today with you. This is another really good comeback script that should absolutely nail the deal. Or you may just get asked up front, but if you can discount, the other agent can discount. Why can't you? Or why can't you just discount? So these are the two scripts that I'm going to be giving you today around them saying, hey, why can't you discount? All righty. These scripts are awesome, Dennis. They're really liberating. Just like the scripts that we gave in the first 2 episodes, these will set you free. Particularly understanding, why an agent is cheaper. We discussed that in episode 2, understanding an agent has deliberately priced themselves cheaper than you. They know what your fees are. You know what their fees are. And because they actually don't believe they're as good as you, their prices are still lower than yours. If they felt they were as good as you, then they'll be charging the same as you. So understanding those principles there set you free. It gives you a whole new perspective on the fee thing. And today we're going to do that again. But Dennis, before we get into it, and we've got a lot of property management people in the room, and I just want to do a quick diversion here. There's so many people out there, Dennis, that are burning out in property management. But they still take calls after hours, and they burn out, or they go, well, we don't do repairs, but we hand the phone around to the team, and we're on a roster system, like we have to take turns for hours every 4 weeks or the 6th weekend or something, and they still don't have a system in place where they can completely switch off their phone. Because Dennis, other than for repairs, is there any reason why a nuts and bolts property manager, we're not talking about BDMs, but any reason why a nuts and bolts property manager needs to be taking calls after hours? Do you know of any?
I don't know any. I don't think it should be done, right?
Well, the more a property manager switched off after hours, the more that they can focus on and enjoy their work during hours. So, Dennis, Tappy, of course, is one of our wonderful sponsors, and they have got what's called Tenant Concierge. So the tenant online, if they've got a problem, they've got an amazing system that can handle that tenant at 2 in.the morning, at 6 in.the morning, or whatever, with their maintenance assistant on their tenant concierge. Go to Tappy, T-A-P-I, tappy.com.au, or for our Kiwis, .co.nz. Go and check it out. Now, your maintenance system, whether it's, whatever property management system you're on, it's not made to be maintenance specialists. These guys have built something that absolutely blew my mindset away and is a total game changer when it comes to maintenance. So go tappy.com.au or .co.nz, TAPI, go and check it out. Ask for a demo. and you will be blown away just like I was. Now, let's get back into the program, Dennis. And I'm reading from my book, The PM Fee Script Secrets. Guys, if you haven't got a copy of it, please do. Dennis, we've already paid for the book. IGT has already gone and paid, and it's probably, this particular is probably cost us anywhere up to $10 each for us to print this. We've already paid it. Just go and get your own copy. We've paid the book. You've just got to pay for shipping. Now, it's easy to get. Just go to stopdiscountingfees.com. It is the most comprehensive fee book that's ever been written on the planet. So we feel it's a good deal. The book is free. As long as you're happy to pay for shipping, then get it in your hands. And today we're looking at secrets number 21 and 22 around that issue of, but the other agent will discount, why can't you, or why can't you discount? So Dennis, why do you feel, as one of the best BDMs I've ever seen, why do you feel that owners still need to have a discount? Why are they still pushing? I mean,
Darren, I feel, like, let's be honest, and a lot of the really good agents out there and BDMs will agree to this. When you're selling your services the right way, when you've educated people correctly, you've really sold them on your points of differences, very, very rare they ask for a discount. It really is rare. Most of the time, the people that I'm finding that are struggling with fee discounters are those reactive agents. They're being reactive to an owner ringing up saying, I've been offered a cheaper fee. And that's from a current client. That is one of the worst scenarios to be in as well. And that's because they're not doing their no reason calls. They're not continuing to upsell to their current landlords. It's being reactive. Now, I probably had 1 in 10 that asked for a discount, but I believe, Darren, that they asked for discounts because it's society as well. You go to Harvey Norman's, you go to Joyce Main, you go to Bing Lee. Bing Lee was the first that said, pay cash and get a discount. Even Bunnings, right? We're talking about Australian brands right now, but Bunnings, a massive superstore, we will reduce the price by 5% if you can find it cheaper somewhere else. Like society does it, but those people that see value, like I do with Uber, for example, I would rather wait 5 minutes, pay an extra couple of dollars and get a clean car, get a driver that talks to me or lets me sit in peace, whatever the decision. Even we'll put music on and charge my phone, right? I'll pay.
Does that mean you're not bothered by a cheap cup of coffee?
I value coffee, so that's
so you're happy to pay for it, right? You're happy to pay.
That's right. I'll pay $10 for a good coffee, not $5 from 7-Eleven, for crying out loud.
Yeah, that's another podcast episode. So
that's another podcast.
Okay, so let's get into this. So script number 5, you need a strong negotiator. And guys, you need to understand is that if an owner wants you to drop your fees from what you believe that you're worth, that you would drop your management fee. Dennis, we discussed in the other episodes, most of the time they're focused on the management fee. And when they're focused on the management fee, 80% of the time, it's usually a 1% discount, sometimes 2. Alrighty. And that's what their focus is. And that's your main fee. That's what they focus on. And remember, of course, when it comes to fee maximization, that's why I do work in the other stuff. All right. Your lease renewal fee, the routine inspection fee, the marketing fee, and so forth, because they're so fee focused on the management fee. So with that in mind, you need to question them. If they are wanting you to drop your fees that quickly and tumble like that, you can spin it on a dime and actually point out what they've asked you to do. If you do it, it actually demonstrates how bad you are at the skill of negotiation. And therefore, if you're unable to negotiate full fees for you, you can place doubt on the situation by saying to the owner, well, hang on, if you then employ me or employ that other agent down the road, and they're so quick to demonstrate to you how bad their negotiation skills are by giving you a discount that quickly, then what's going to happen when your tenant comes along and then wants a discount on your rent? Now, we know in Australia at the moment, and in some places in New Zealand still, the rents are very, very strong, and we know the tenant's likely not going to do that. But in this situation, we must cast doubt in the owner's mind that they really need an agent with strong negotiation skills. Now, we're getting into some scripts here, Dennis, which are from the 80s, from a guy called Tom Hopkins. So I've simply done and taken what he's said and changed it a bit. In fact, I've even got inspired by Phil Harris from Adelaide. He's used some of these words as well, the word panic that we're going to use. And so everyone, again, this is in my book. Make sure you get my book, stop at stopdiscountingfees.com. Just go there, get yourself the book. But let's just work on first. Script number 5, you need a strong negotiator but the other agent will give a discount. Why can't you? All righty, let's get into this. Well, Mr. Smith, if the other agent was quick to discount, what does that demonstrate about their negotiation skills? What do you think they will do when leasing your property and a prospective tenant wants a discount on your rent roll? We will not panic or instantly cave in and drop the rental price if your prospective tenant wants a discount. That's why you need to have full confidence in your agent's strong negotiation skills when choosing the right agency to manage your property. That's also why we've got to get our full fees. Now, that's a script that typically a good salesperson would use to maintain their commission, because they wouldn't want that salesperson to then be a weak negotiator when a purchaser comes in, because they're always going to try lowball. All righty. And you want someone that's never going to allow lowball to occur. And that's why you can't have lowball fees. You've got to have your full fees, not discounts. So I think already, Dennis, people are getting liberated by this particular script and understanding the real truth behind it. Because though you might go, oh, this is a real problem, no, it's not. You can actually turn it on its head. And remember, everybody, this is usually a 2-hit tennis game. The owner at this point, you're friendly and all of that, and suddenly they turn to fee negotiation. Their face goes to poker mode. And now they're into negotiation, because it's all about money now. Throw the emotion out of it, and they're just going to try you. Why? Because you work in real estate. Therefore, your fees are negotiable. Let's play. And it's just a game. Understand that. And you've just got to have a good response. They're going to hit the ball at you, and all you have to do is just knock it back. All righty, and have a good response. That's what you're going to get out of my book, the PMP Scripts for Secrets. We've got about 50 scripts in there for anything that's ever going to get hit at you in a game of tennis. All right, so that's now the other thing to remember, everybody, and this is one of the things, Dennis, I want to just touch on and go a little bit deep on. What happens, Dennis, now you've done a lot of door knocking. I remember you used to be a Kirby salesperson, and you would have got a lot of training, right? But how good's that training? Or if you're in a pressure situation, you have fear, what happens to your brain?
Oh, you want to go back to something comfortable when you hit that fear.
Yeah, but your brain shuts down. It's very hard to remember things, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You close off, right? Yeah. You certainly can. Then you look for your last happy moment, and that's normally something where you've helped someone in an office in real estate. Right? So yeah, I
like that idea that you look for a happy moment, then unlock your brain. In fact, I actually watched a video on LinkedIn yesterday where there was a lady getting married, and her father, growing up, they used to paint together, and he used to teach her painting. But now, unfortunately, he's got Alzheimer's. She's getting married today, and she needs him to attend, but he doesn't even recognize who she is.
Wow.
So she's there in her wedding dress. Her father is sitting there. He's very elderly. He's got Alzheimer's, and she goes and talks to him. He says, hi, how you going? And who are you? And she goes, well, he says, you look very beautiful today. You look oh, thank you so much. And do I know you? This is his daughter, for crying out loud. You used to. Anyway, but she was setting this up, and this is what she did. She took him over to his paint set. She sat him down, put a paintbrush in his hand, and he started to stroke the canvas, because she knew that him with a paintbrush touching a canvas will open up his mind to that part of his brain where the memories of his daughter still exists. Yeah, and it was awesome. Like magic. You could actually see his face change with the paintbrush. Suddenly, he recognized the woman that was standing next to him in this beautiful wedding dress. And Oh my, and he said her name. You look so beautiful. What's happening? And I'm getting married. You're getting married. Oh, and all his memory started flooding back because she used the paintbrush she knew would bring him back for that moment. Now, Dennis, you just said that happy memory unlocks this fear. And I thought, what a great thing, So everybody, my point is this, is if you don't learn your scripts by rote, if you don't learn them over and over and over and over again, when you're in the pressure and the fear that comes on you in a listing presentation, that which you think you know, or you just heard once in this podcast, you are going to forget. And you're going to be scrambling for words that you don't have. You know what it's like. Your brain shuts down. So learn it by rote over and over and over. Understand the concept. You just understand the concept of this negotiation thing, and dropping your fees is a very bad indicator of your poor negotiation skills. Understand the concept, practice it. So when you're in the pressure of battle, your pressure of that listing presentation, you will then be able to rely on your training and your subconscious training that you've learned that will come out automatically. And it only comes through repetition, everybody, all right? And practice.
And Darren, it comes with, the confidence. When you know your worth, you're prepared, you don't shut down, you go straight to those happy moments. And if I can add to the script where I brought up earlier, just before, Darren, if an owner rings you up and says they've been offered cheaper fees, you've got to go back to their happy time, their happy moment, right? And their happy moment was when they first signed with you. And you need to know, Darren, you signed with us because you were worried that your tenants weren't going to pay their rent. And that's why you came with us, because I showed you that 99.8% of our tenants pay their rent on time. Well, guess what? They still haven't missed a beat, and they are paying their rent because we do this. So you're reminding them of that happy moment, because they've forgotten. You've all of a sudden become the same agent like everyone else, because they may not have been making those regular updates since they signed them up doing the reset. So don't be reactive, but you've got to take owners back to their happy place as well.
Yeah. All righty. Well, let's move on to secret number 22, which is script 6. Full fees means best negotiator. Full fees means best negotiator for, but you should give a discount. So now, before the script was, well, but the other agent will give a discount. Why can't you? We're just respinning that. If they say, but you should give a discount, why can't you? Well, it's just a cup of coffee then. If it's no big deal, why can't you then give that up? And that's where they get out the calculator and go, well, it's actually $306 a year. If that's, then, why isn't that a big deal to you? This is the script now you can use in response to that, because the scripts that we cover in episode 1 and 2 are really good most of the time, but every now and again they get the sneaky stuff. Now this is a good comeback. All righty. All right. So let's handle this. Mr. Smith, if we drop our fees so quickly, what does that demonstrate to you about our negotiation skills? And if we are poor negotiators and your tenant wants a discount on your rent, then what would we then likely do? If we're quick to panic like that and we drop, how is that's going to affect your rental income? So that's why we will not panic and drop the rent should your prospective tenant want a discount. That's why you need to have full confidence in your agent's strong negotiation skills when choosing the right agency to manage your property. That's also why we must get our full fee. So it's the same script respun, all righty, for a different purpose. Remember, everybody, right now you're thinking, I like that, but it means nothing. Those words will not work for you if you don't learn it over and over and over again. Alrighty, now, yeah, I read from the book, but I wouldn't have needed to. I wanted to read from the book because I want this book in your hands. Now, if I'm put on the spot in a seminar and someone throws that line at me, it will rattle out like that because I've learned it over and over and over and over again.
That repetitive. So, Darren, what you're saying is, read the book a few times and continue to read it and put your own words in it, because during a listing presentation, you can't say, hang on a second, run to the car, look up the chapter, read it, and then go back inside.
Yeah, no, you can't. You can't. And so you like any good salesperson, because this is a selling role, okay? Whether you're a property manager doing growth or a BDM, you are a salesperson with your sales hat on, particularly when they say you're in real estate, your fees are negotiable. Welcome to sales. Okay. So it is. So anyway, so and just as a quick shout out for everyone too, I'm going to be taking anyone that wants to come on board on a journey to find an extra $500 to $1,000 a year per property. Alrighty, now, Dennis, we've got people that once they did my training, they've gone from, say, an increase in the minimum we've had is 52% from what they were earning before on new business to now what they're earning once they get this training. We've got 56%. I've got one person that did 92%, and my greatest is 145% extra income per property. Now, guys, if you're only earning 20% from your overall rent roll, then this is the stuff that doubles, triples your profit margin. All righty. So if you want to learn that, just go to igtmembership.com or winyourworthacademy.com. So that's igtmembership.com or winyourworthacademy.com. You'll need to join as a member, but once you are, you'll have access to that academy where I'll be doing a training session every month. I want you to be part of that. If you want to change the way you think towards your fees, you only ever win what you're worth. Sorry, I apologize. I'll start again. You don't win what you're worth. You only win what you believe that you're worth. So I give training on how we can elevate what you believe about yourself.
Very well done, Darren. And you are kicking so many goals on that. I was actually only talking to a Sydney client the other day, and how well and happy they are with the amount of extra income that you've helped bring their business in.
The Sydney client we're working at the moment, I mean, they're a big rent roll, and I've got 3 BDMs, and they are just all signing up now, routine inspections at $99. When none of their competitors charge it, they all said, well, Darren, this can't be done, but they're doing it, and they're doing it well because we changed the way that what they believe to be true. But anyway, enough for that. Let's end this podcast episode, Dennis. But welcome on board, everyone, to the Win Your Worth podcast show. This is typically what you're going to learn out of it, how to build a quality, profitable rent roll, because I don't want you to do property management anymore, people. I want you to do profitable, quality property management. There is a big difference. So thanks, everyone. And thank you, Dennis. And we'll see you.
Thank you very much for having me.
We'll see everybody in the next episode.